Guys, what's going on? This is Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to review one of the better rare champions inside the game. Certainly one of the top tier rare support champions in the game. That's right, it's Void Affinity Reliquary Tender, a high elf champion. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at how I built this champion, go over her skills, her masteries, artifacts, and then let's take her into the dungeon and talk about why she is so solid. Why is she one of the best supports in the game for rare, of course, right? So look at her skill set first here. Warden Staff has her only debuff in her kit. It's a decrease attack. It's the weak version of decrease attack. So it's really up to you. Are you building out Reliquary Tender because this is important to you to have this ability, especially against clan boss? Reliquary Tender is a rare champion who's incredibly viable in early, mid, and even into like brutal clan boss as a support champion. If you're going to be using her as your decrease attack against clan boss, you're going to have to build her with some accuracy around 200 ideally to make sure you're getting this decrease attack on her A1. For that reason too, any champion with a 20, in this case, what, 30, 40, 50% chance of landing the decrease attack, champion like this is really good in clan boss when paired with a counterattack champion such as Skull Crusher. That way she's constantly getting her A1s off against the clan boss, okay? In today's build, I kind of have her built up with enough accuracy to land this consistently even in level 20 dungeons, but I have her in more of a, I have her in kind of a clan boss build. We'll talk about that in just a second. Tender's Watch is her main ability. It's a great ability. On 3-turn cooldown, it removes all debuffs from all allies and then plays a 15% continuous heal buff on them for 2 turns. Now, there's a very, very small version of the Malice ability in Battle Khazar. He has 2 continuous heals. He also removes all buffs. He's also placing poisons, okay? So he's doing it all. That's a legendary. This is a rare. But in functionality, in terms of the support dynamic of this ability, you're still looking really good here. It's going to be cleansing poisons, stuns, depending on which dungeon or which boss you're going against. And having a solid cleanser on a 3-turn with that continuous heal is very valuable against a lot of bosses in this game, okay? So not to be overlooked. This is Tender's Watch is her main ability. Going to be helping your team out. And because it's on a 3-turn cooldown, it's healing and removing debuffs, you want her to be fast, okay? I'll talk about that in a second. Call of Life revives an ally with 30% HP and fills their turn meter by 30%. Nice to have a reviver on your team, especially for dungeon progression or for, heck, Void Tower when it comes. I heard it's going to be one of the most difficult or the most difficult dungeon in the game. Having a reviver on your team is going to help you guys out a lot, okay? So Masteries. If you want her to deal any damage, we don't have her built out with even 100% crit rate in today's video, okay? So, like we talk about a lot here on the channel, if you want your support champions to be putting out damage, either against bosses, against the dragon, for example, against clan boss, you're going to have to go offense tree and end with War Master. This is a very kind of simple, basic War Master offensive tree build. We went crit rate, crit damage, and then kind of ended out at War Master. Now, I'm building her, again, mainly for dungeons. If you want to build her only for clan boss, keep everything the same here that we have. However, you want to be very careful not to get Spirit Haste, increase speed by 8 for each dead ally, stacks up to 24, and you also don't want to be getting, this one. Rapid Response has a 30% chance of increasing turn meter by 10% when a buff cast by this champion is removed or expired. That can screw up your speed tuning on clan boss teams. So take away those masteries and then just add something in their place, whatever, right? Add Sniper will increase the chance to get that decrease attack in her kit. Lasting Gifts is the most important mastery that you guys want to go for with this champion. Has a 30% chance to extend the duration of any buff. That's going to extend those continuous heal buffs by Reliquary Tender. Okay, so that's how I have her built out. Masteries, as we always talk about on the channel here, go with what works for you guys, given how you plan on using this champion and the teams around this champion, okay? Don't just blindly copy off of, the internet or a YouTube video on your masteries. So, how do we build her out? Like I said, a lot of speed. She's one of these support champions. I'm sure you guys have built one before, right? They're pretty easy to build, right? I mean, defense percentage, HP percentage, have her sustain a little bit, and then just load as much speed on her as possible, okay? I literally took off like most of Grave Chill Killer's gear and just kind of transferred it on her. Not that I'm building those champions the exact same way, I just happen to have some decent speed gear on Grave Chill Killer. Again, we're going with accuracy as kind of a substat that we're keeping our eyes on, but really it's all about speed, accuracy, And then sustainability, defense, durability on this champion. You want a really robust kind of support champion, healing and also staying alive so she can revive your allies, right? And she can heal your allies, right? So speed is going to be important for that reason. We want to go speed on the boots. We want to go HP or defense on the chest, and I would advise you go defense or HP on the gauntlets. Again, you're going to be getting most of your damage off of the War Master procs anyway. So having her again at 100% crit rate, I do not think that's the direction that most of you are going to want to go with your Reliquary Tender, unless you're really just, you know, desperate for every ounce of damage. But even in Clan Boss, I think the sustainability of having defensive percentage gauntlets on her is actually going to help you overall more. So again, I went defense in HP because her HP, if you look at her base stats, for a rare, they're actually really solid. Her HP for a rare is good. 18,000 on base HP is really solid, okay? So it scales well, meaning that, you know, why not put her on with an HP percentage chest piece, okay? Defense is all right at 958, a little bit on the low side, so you're going to be wanting to build her up depending on where you're using her. Again, this is a dungeon build. If you're going all clan boss, you might consider just going defense on chest and HP. But other than that, speed is the priority here, and accuracy again if you plan on landing that A1. For the accessories, I have defense on the ring, I have defense on the amulet with accuracy as a substat, and normally I would not go attack on my my banner. However, I just happen to have a triple roll on speed. And you know what, guys? Do I have a I think I'd rather wait to get a 6-star glyph instead of using a 5-star right now on this. This banner will not be staying on Reliquary Tender. It will be going, if I can get a 6-star speed glyph, it will be going on Arbiter. But I just happen to have it sitting in my, sitting in the old, whatever this is, artifact zone. What the hell is this called? My artifacts? Is it a, I don't know what it is. My artifact area. No one was wearing it, okay? So we went with that, and that's how I have her built out, guys. I think that she's a really, really, really solid support champion. She's definitely a 5 in Dragon's Lair, especially for being a rare, right? For Clan Boss, she's definitely a 5. Miniatures Labyrinth, she's definitely a 5. Ice Golem's Peak, I'll give her a 5. Void Keep, 5. I mean, really, campaign locations for progression, for Nightmare. She's not a speed farm or anything like that, you know? But for progression, I'll give her a 4. For Spider's Den, she can help cleanse poisons. I'll give her a 4. She's not like S tier, but she's a good support champion on your team, you know? Reviving your nukers, your cold hearts, your Kales, whatever, right? And then on Arena Offense, having a cleanse on Arena Offense is actually not that bad. But it depends. Maybe you could use her in like a tag team. She's not really a speed farming type champion for traditional classic arena, but I'll give her a 4. If you need a cleanser, you've got one. And the revival, right? I don't know why she gets a 2.8, man. That's harsh. Fire Knight, I do agree she's not very good. Acceptable, I guess. We'll give her a 2. And then everywhere else, arena defense, you can't really prioritize anything, so I'll give her a 2 or a 3. And then, you know, Faction Wars, she's great. She's a 5. She'll help, again, sustain. It's all about sustainability in Faction Wars. So let's go ahead and take her into, Dragon's Lair first. I'm just going to kind of build a, kind of a free-to-play, not a team like this, kind of a free-to-play friendly-er team around her. Let's see. So she does not have any aura skills, so you're never going to be running her in the lead. So let's kind of just stick her with, you know, Apothecary lead. That will help out our defense. And let's try to get some poisoners on the team. War Maiden for the debuffs and for the poisons. Let's go with Kale, obviously helping out there as well. And you know what? Let's go with my favorite. Some of you guys roll your eyes when I call her free-to-play. But, you know, you get her for free. You get her for free. Let's go with my favorite champion in the game. You guys already know. Scylla the Drakes. So I have 2 revivers on the team. That's going to make sure that we stay alive. I don't have any big damage dealers on this team. It's just all about Kale and War Maiden, really. And it's not going to be the world's fastest run. But as we talk about a lot here on the channel, it's not about speed, man. Like, if you are playing this game and your only concern is, you know, can I clear level 20 dungeons in 4 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds, you know, I was there. I'm saying this because I lived this life, right? And I was like, okay, how far can I push this? And then I realized what I should have realized. I talked about this before on the channel, but I realized what I should have realized a long time ago, that who the hell cares, man? Like, who cares, dude? Like, you don't get anything for, unless you have unlimited energy, you don't get anything for clearing a dungeon in 10 seconds, you know? I put out a couple of videos about, like, you know, my fastest whatever team, my fastest, you know, Fire Knight in, you know, in 30 seconds, whatever the hell it was, you know? And, yeah, I just, you know, in retrospect, it's like, that's kind of funny to even do that. Like, who cares, right? So you can see I lost my Kale. But again, on a team like this, no worries at all, man. Like, I'm going to lose champions. It's cool. They'll be revived. You know, I'm not going to lose Reliquary Tender. She has a lot of HP, like 45k. I mean, it's not, you know, God tier, not like Mountain King 100k HP, but it's a lot of HP for a support champion, a kind of a squishier high elf support, not like a big robust tank, like a Norog type champion. But she's going to get the job done, you know, keep everybody alive. So I have, you know, really 3 healers on this team. I have Apothecary, obviously with the spot heals on the A2. I have Syl the Drakes on her passive. And then I have Reliquary Tender with the continuous heals. And you guys can see, you know, even when the dragon eventually lands her, right? Her poisons on my team is not going to be a big deal. We'll be able to cleanse those right away. And what I think I want to do is, I could show you a clan boss battle with her, but I think I'm just going to go into Ice Golem instead. So there it is, right there. Removes all those poisons. Don't even have to worry about it. All the debuffs from the dragon done, and the continuous heal going to get everybody right back up to full strength, full HP. And the beautiful thing about that is, too, guys, is that you don't need, having a champion like Reliquary Tender on your team makes it not as important to have lifesteal gear on all your champions. So when you get a champion like Reliquary Tender with the cleanse on there, with the heal, continuous heal as well, it's going to allow you, free you up to take off some of that lifesteal gear, replace it with maybe speed gear, maybe crit damage gear, maybe, you know, defense, whatever you need for that specific champion that you're kind of focusing on. So here again, it's not going to be the fastest run in the world, not going to be the slowest run in the world, but it's going to be a consistent run that's always going to be successful because, again, of the great support that we have on this squad. So as I was saying, I could show you a clan boss battle with this champion. I don't think it's, you know, I don't think it's imperative because you get it, right? She's cleansing the stun. That's what makes her so good. She's cleansing the stun of the clan boss, and she's keeping everybody alive. Having a cleanser on your team is, again, very important, and when you have a champion like Reliquary Tender, again, even for clan boss, it makes the necessity for lifesteal a little bit less, okay? Not so much as compared to Bad L, but still, it's really solid. So again, she put out 328,000 damage, and that is almost all War Master proc. We compare it to Apothecary, who has 148,000 damage, and he does not have War Master on his build. So there you go, the comparison, getting an extra couple 100,000 damage, okay? And just solid team, right? Solid team, consistent team. You can run that team on auto battles when you go to sleep. Don't even have to worry about it. Let's go ahead and build kind of a similar team here. Guys, here we go. Kind of really, again, kind of going all defense with this strategy, right? A super defensive team together, because with a team like this, again, I just know that I can never lose, right? It's not about winning in 20 seconds. It's about never losing. When you have Apothecary and Reliquary Tender on this, and Syl the Drakes on the same team, you can really pair them with any debuffer. Like, I can run a War Maiden, or not in level 20 Ice Golem, but a Tyrell, basically anybody who's debuffing, right, defense down. And then, or you don't even, I guess you don't even need a debuffer technically if you don't have a champion like Stag Knight who are running in this comp. But with a composition like this, you know, we're looking for stunners. So Bellower in a stun set would be like a replacement for Miscreated, who I have on this squad, or just running Syl the Drakes as a stunner is going to help you out a lot. We talked about that, kind of running Bellower and Syl the Drakes together, how impressive that combination can be, that tandem. And you guys are already seeing that, again, even if we lose somebody here, the cool thing is we're not even going to lose anybody to the Reflect here, because none of my champions are putting out that much damage, you know? They're just not. It's not like I have these big Cold Heart Royal Guard nukers on the team, which I'm worried about dying when they get a hit, because on this team, there are really no hard hitters for the most part, you know? I guess the damage lead will probably be Stag Knight when all said and done. And I do have Stag Knight, I mentioned before, but I have him in a shield set. If you want added sustainability to your team, even add more to the kit of Reliquary Tender, you can build her out with HP gauntlets and HP chest and put a shield set on her instead of running 3 speed sets, or instead of running accuracy sets, stuff like that. So, or even, you know, if you're lucky enough to have some relentless gear, she's a champion that you can put a lot of different, even for clan boss, stalwart gear. There's some options in terms of gear sets on this champion. If I wanted to run her as a pure progression champion, I would do that. I would build HP on her chest and her gauntlets. I would put an HP banner on her as well and put her into a shield set. And then you get the continuous heal, you get the cleanse, and you get some really OP shields every round of the battle. So again, this is not the fastest run in the world here, but everything's good. Everything's smooth. Everything's going really well. Of course, the shield from, you could run, you know, who's Zealota. You could run Zealota as well instead of Miscreated Monster in a comp like this. You have some options. I actually want to build him out and do a guide on him as well, because he has a really good shield as well, often overshadowed by champions like Miscreated Monster with his shield. So here we go, guys. Getting the minions down in time before the Ice Golem takes another turn, so we're not going to have to deal with that ignoring of our defense. And again, this team is just really steady, slow and steady wins the proverbial race here against Ice Golem. And as you see, I think probably, what, a 4-minute run or so? And I guess we're just going to go ahead and end the guide here. She's a very, very strong, again, kind of a robust support type champion. For a rare champion, you really can't do better. I consider her a top 5 rare champion in the game, like all out. I would put her, I'm probably going to forget somebody, but her alongside, you know, Apothecary, Cold Heart, Bellower, and maybe, should I go Kale? I don't know. Ad hoc top 5 rares, go. Tell me who you think they are. Reliquary Tender, Cold Heart, Bellower. I think Cold Heart is head and shoulders the best rare in the game. So then Reliquary Tender, Apothecary, I put like right there as support champions. Then Bellower, because of all his AoEs, I put him there too. So it's really a question of who's number 5. I think I'd probably give it to War Maiden or Kale. Nah, War Maiden. It's got to be War Maiden because her skill set is unique enough with a 3-turn decreased defense on the rare champion, excuse me, is so rare. No other rares have it, and only a couple epics have it. We talked about this in a video last week that War Maiden, you know, she's in a class of her own. It's only War Maiden and Stag Knight, and I guess Madame Ceres, who, well, I guess 3-turn cooldowns. It's only War Maiden and Stag Knight. Who the heck am I forgetting? Is it just War Maiden and Stag Knight? Tyrell is on a 4-turn cooldown. I feel like there's another one too. Either way, though, coming to mind right now, War Maiden and Stag Knight, the only non-legendaries with a 3-turn cooldown of the strong version of decreased defense on an AoE attack. So for that reason, I would give her the slight edge over Kale, who I think is a tremendous champion as well. So guys, 4-minute and 30-second run. It's not the fastest in the world, but again, I have no damage dealer on this team, right? It'd be interesting to play around with different champions, different combinations, and see what you can kind of come up with here. But again, Reliquary Tender putting out, again, about double the damage as Apothecary, 378 to 798, thanks to the whatchamacallit, the War Master. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this guide. If you enjoy these guides, or you have a request for a champion that you want to see a full guide on like this one, let me know in the comments below. If you like the content here, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and as always, take care, guys.